Rocking the shades today. Two reasons for that. Number one is because it's sunny, sun's in my eyes. And number two is because these are hater repellent. And that's what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about not caring about what people think about us. How do we go about getting rid of all this concern with what other people are thinking about us, what other people are saying about us, the hater comments people are leaving on YouTube or whatever. But you don't need a YouTube comment you don't need a YouTube channel to benefit from this this advice here that I'm gonna give to you. And you don't have to take this advice. This is just things that I try to do so that I'm not so caught up in worrying about what people are saying about me, what people think about what I'm doing. And I think this is something that a lot of people, it holds a lot of people back from doing what they want to be doing because they're worried about what people are thinking about them. So let's get into it. Three things to think about. The first thing, if you want to feel good about what you're doing and you want to be able to just put aside what anyone else might be saying about you or what they might think about you, the first thing is you need to be confident in what you're doing yourself. You need to have the feeling that what you're doing is right for you. You have to understand how it's going to improve your life or improve someone else's life or improve, you know, the world in general. You have to understand the purpose behind what you're doing. If you're just doing something because someone else said you should do it, or you saw some advice on the internet like this video, you know, and you're just taking it at face value and doing it, you don't really understand what you're doing. You don't understand the meaning, the purpose behind that. So you're opening yourself up, you're vulnerable to looking for validation from other people, because that's why you're doing it in the first place. Somebody else told you to do it, or you saw it, so you're looking to validate yourself in some way by doing that. So by extension, it's only logical that someone else could just as easily come and, like, you know, rip you apart for doing that same thing, if that makes sense. So it needs to come from within to a certain extent. At least you need to understand why you're doing it and believe in yourself. And if you can do that, then that's the first most important step to not caring about what other people think about what you're doing. So that's the first thing. Second thing is to realize that the things people say about us, the criticisms that people throw at us, the projections people throw at us, at the end of the day, it really says a lot more about that person than it does about you or me or the person receiving the criticism or hate or whatever. People throw, you know, their own insecurities into criticisms of other people, and that's just how it is. That's just what happens, because, I mean, it's very easy to criticize, and that's where a lot of people sort of try to get their own junk out. You know, they're looking for other people who have the same issues that they have, and are sort of finding comfort in the fact that other people have these issues as well. And this can be conscious or it can be unconscious, but people look at other people, they see things in other people that they don't like about themselves, and then they go ahead and they hate on those people for those same things. It seems kind of strange, but it actually makes a lot of sense, because these are the things that we're thinking about, you know, maybe things that we're, again, consciously or unconsciously wish that we could do better, or things that we're, you know, uncomfortable with about ourselves. And then these things manifest when people are criticizing other people. So it's really important to understand that what other people say about you when they're criticizing you is really saying more about them than it is about you. So the third thing, by extension of that second point, is to be aware of what you say about other people, because you can learn a lot about the thoughts you're having about other people. Most, you know, I mean, especially we're talking about negative thoughts here, thoughts of criticism, and I mean, you know, criticism to a certain extent, you know, judgment to a certain extent, it's natural. You know, it's just part of what goes on in our heads, but it is definitely worth taking a little bit of care to observe what your criticism is of other people, because you can learn a lot about yourself, your own insecurities, your own weaknesses, or your own strengths by the things that you see in other people. And the things that you say about other people, especially behind their back. Are you the kind of person who's constantly gossiping about other people, who's constantly criticizing other people behind their back? Because if you're doing that to other people all the time, I mean, we sort of expect that other people will act in a similar way that we act on a certain level. So if you're making a habit of gossiping, criticizing other people, then you're probably gonna assume that other people are doing the same about you. So you're gonna be more concerned about, oh, what will other people think if I do this or that, because you're gossiping yourself, or you're criticizing other people behind their back yourself. So you're gonna be worried about other people doing the same to you. So I hope that you find a little bit of value in these 3 points. First point is to be confident and believe in what you're doing. Second point is to realize that the criticisms and hate coming from other people says more about them than it does about you. And the third thing is to be conscious about what you're criticizing other people for, and to look at that and to try to learn about your own potential weaknesses or insecurities from what you're thinking or saying about other people. So that's it in a nutshell. These things have helped me a lot to become more confident in myself and to not worry about what other people are saying so much. Hopefully you get something out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next video. Have a good one.